Hey, it's Sheree Laree, and we are here at Sister to Sister 2.0 with Grammy Award winner, songwriter, Hall of Fame. The list can go on. Mr. J.D. Jermaine Dupri.
What's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. So, this is a crazy time right now. We are in quarantine 2020.
Yeah.
How's that been for you? Like, what's your quarantine routine?
My quarantine routine is pretty much similar to my life that I've been living for the last 20 years. I'm in the studio every night, late, and I wake up early, and start working, and then I go right back to the studio. So it's pretty much that's been my schedule before we was doing this. Now that's just like that's the same thing I'm doing. So it's like I haven't really felt the actual effects of the being quarantined or being like in a position where I'm bored out of my mind. I see a lot of people that's going crazy and got to get outside and talking about going outside and dreaming of the world opening back up and all of that. I haven't had that experience yet.
Okay, well, it's only a few that, you know, haven't felt that impact like you're saying. So, much hasn't really changed for you. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a good thing because, like you said, people are going crazy. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of therapists getting the bag right after this or getting it right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I think we live in a world that talks about that people front about so much. This is a good time for those people. Um, Not picking at anybody, but I just think it's a time for people to just get themselves together. Like people want to work out, people want to be aerobic and all of that type of stuff. This is perfect timing for you to not. You don't have nowhere to go. So like if you get in the gym or if you working out, you don't have nothing else to do but do that. So, you know what I mean? It's like you won't miss a workout. You can't miss a workout right now. You can't, like me, I can't miss going to the studio. I can't miss,
There's no excuse
right?
for that right
Yeah,
now.
I can't miss writing a song. I can't do too much of nothing. So,
Okay. Have you stayed inspired? Because I know, artists, we have this thing called writer's block. And it really stems from no inspiration. So has that been something that has messed with you now, or you still inspired? You still able to?
yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person that when I do get writer's block, um, I just walk around. I've learned that over the years that if I get a writer's block, um, sometimes if I get writer's block for me, then that means the song is not meant to be, and I
Okay.
don't look at it as a block like, oh, I have writer's block. I look at it like maybe it's just something about the song that's not coming because I write so many songs and I write so fast
Yeah.
that usually um that would be the problem. Like I just like, oh, I'm gonna throw this track away.
Right. I mean, for you, I don't, it's almost like, dang, does that even exist with you? You write for so many different genres. You've had so many, different genres of music that is under your belt that a lot of new artists need to understand that if you are true as an artist, you need to pull from different types of genres. I mean, I feel like you're a good advocate for saying that because how do you say call yourself an artist, but you haven't heard rock, you haven't heard classical, you haven't heard country, you haven't heard soul, you haven't heard funk, you only
Hmm.
just listen to hip hop, and I
Yeah,
know that that's not the case for you.
yeah. Nah, it's just usually for me. It's just like I said, if I get a writer's block, because the first thing I write is um the first thing I write is usually like the first thing that comes to my mind is what I usually write or I usually say. So even if that's not the topic of what somebody wants to talk about, I still get it out because I know that that's where my body language is headed. So usually I just try to just like say the first thing that comes to my mind. If nothing comes to my mind, then I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should do another track. Maybe we should write another track. And a lot of times people don't understand that because I'm not feeling anything. Most of the time when the music says something to me.
Absolutely. And I was gonna definitely go into that. Sometimes it's like when you're trying to do a song, you know, the beat almost has to talk to me first. And I want to know, does the beat talk to you first
Oh
before?
yeah, oh yeah. Music, I mean, the beat talks to me, the artist talk to me, the
Mhm.
vibe, the world that we in. It depends on what's actually going on.
Right, definitely. Now, one thing that we all know is you've worked from Criss Cross to the Brat to Usher. Some people may not have known you have worked even with Miss Aretha Franklin. And something newly that some artists that you have worked with has been the Clark sister. Now that's hip hop, that's R&B, I named, that's soul, and now it's gospel. You are all over the board and I love it. Have you done country? Have you done any blues? What other surprising genres have you dived into?
No, I haven't. I haven't done a country project yet. I feel it coming though. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Um, I have a couple of country friend artists that recently been like, yo, we in quarantine. It's the perfect time for you to send me a beat. So
Definitely. Did you get inspired from the Lil Nas and Billy Ray Cyrus?
I feel like it's gonna happen during this break.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen during this break.
Love it. I love it. I can't wait. I cannot wait. How was the Clark sisters? You worked on their upcoming reunion album, and of course their biopic was out this week, and that was the movie that they did really good. They did
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. Working with the Clock Sisters was amazing because you walk into the room of these such legendary people.
Mhm.
They're so legendary, and their voices are so angelic to me, and it's like you're just nervous. I mean, for me, I'm nervous because I'm like, I know I'm from a different world than where they come from, and from majority of their fans, probably didn't expect me to deliver a song that they would like. Not
Mhm.
the Clock Sisters, the fans of the Clock
Yeah.
Sisters would like.
Yeah.
Because normally, in the past times that we've seen this, there's a lot of times that don't happen. You
Mhm.
know,
A lot of backlash that can come from it just because, an outsider looking in, especially an outsider looking in that's not an artist, is just looking at, oh, you're hip hop or you're secular music and this is gospel, but they still forget that music is music, you
yeah,
know?
I mean, as a writer though, it's really important for you to understand who you're writing for, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think that a lot of times people don't understand. I tailor make my music for the person in the clothes that they are getting ready to put on. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
if I made when I made sure his suits, they only for him. They don't fit other people. You know what I'm saying? I make Mariah's suits, clothes, dress, whatever you want to call it. It only fits her, right? So it's the same thing with the Clark sisters. I actually went through, I think 3 to 4 records to get to Masterpiece. So, and it was really important that the lyrical content was just like 100% straight up something that they would say. And then I wanted to make sure that the track was just like, it felt gospel, but at the same time it had my bounce. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a good balance of everything that it should have been.
What was the reaction when you presented the song to them? I mean, were they like surprised? Did they know that what was the reaction? Like
What was their reaction when what?
when you presented the song, like when you like this is what I have for you guys. Is it one of those things
Oh,
where two of them like it and the other one was
yeah,
like,
like so the first
change.
time, because I sent it to him, and I was talking to Jackie, and I
Mhm.
sent it to him, and she was like, "Oh my God, the sisters love this song. We've been listening to it so many times," and I was looking at my phone like, "What? Oh my God, my sisters, they loving my record." But then I wasn't sure that they, I thought like they was just being nice and
Yeah.
saying, man, so then I started doing more songs. I just started doing more songs and sending them more songs. And
Mhm.
then they narrowed it down to saying, Jermaine, we really like this song. All the sisters like this song. They all had the feeling about this one song. So it was like, you know, it
What,
just
what
happened. It
what
was
number
just like,
song was that? Was that like the second one you sent? Was that
that
the
was
third?
actually the first one.
Okay.
Masterpiece was the first song.
Okay.
I sent more songs because I didn't. No, I think Masterpiece was the second song. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Masterpiece was the second song, and I think I sent 4 because I wasn't really sure. I just wanted to make sure, and I never heard their album. I didn't
Right.
know where they was going with their album.
Mhm.
but I just was trying to be on the project. That's all I know.
Well, you did just that. You succeeded, and congratulations. And there's so much that's going to come from this. Unfortunately, the world is at a pause right now on the outside part, but artists is never a pause in your home. That's when your creative juices are supposed to be definitely flowing. And like you said, get your list that you had something on it that you never got the chance to do because you didn't have time. Well, now you have nothing but time. There's no excuse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never got an opportunity to be. I never took the time to, I guess, I won't say chase the artist, but you almost have to chase artists if you want to be on multiple records as a producer.
Right.
I never did that because I always made my own artists, and I was so busy creating somebody else. When my Clark Sisters was Escape, you know what I mean? So it's like I was creating my own brand of artists. So I never had time to actually run around and like physically have meetings with artists like this. But we did, and it wasn't me taking my time. It was just I met them at the Tyler Perry grand opening,
the gala.
And, he had everybody here, so it's like, if you don't take advantage of meeting people and creating a relationship, there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? So I met them here. I also started a relationship with Smokey Norfield here too.
Okay.
And he and I have been in the studio as well recently. So
beautiful. Yeah. So you definitely been working, like you said. This is not a real, quarantine for you. It's almost like your daily schedule already. So
I love this quarantine. Because it's putting focus on work, and I feel like that should be everybody's focus for right now. Like,
absolutely.
On a serious note, it's 20 million people unemployed in the United States right now behind this, and that's never happened before. And I feel like I see people in videos laughing and going outside and jokes and all of this stuff about Corona, but what people don't really understand is when it does open up, it's not going to be nothing like what we just came from.
That's definitely what I wanted to ask you. Like, you think the world is going to be changed? I mean, even with let's just focus on the music aspect, the entertainment industry, not even just the music, actors, festivals. You had the Freaknik Festival coming up here in June, where you were bringing out friends. You were the main headliner on it, and that's been moved to, I believe, September. How do you think festivals are even going to change?
I don't want to jinx anything, but I don't see that stuff actually happening. Even in the beginning of the world opening back up, I think it's going to be, because I personally feel like, people are going to, we are late to the party as Americans. And I feel like the lateness in our body is going to be delayed, and then the caution is going to be delayed. And then once everything opens, that's when the delay is going to kick in. I feel like, and that's what I feel like we've yet to see that right now. I think people are like, I can't go outside just because you can't go outside. But once you can go outside and you can still catch this virus,
right?
People saying I'm not going, and then that's where the effect of shows and things like that, where I believe that's gonna be a problem. Because I feel like you still, especially me, until we find a vaccine, I feel like it's gonna still be, chaotic outside.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the sad part about it. It's like, we take everything such a joke, or like, oh, it's not that serious. But you have a whole country that was shut down for 5 months, just now. And I mean shut down, not, oh, only this is shut down. Like, we still have things open. We still have places that we can go and gather. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see, like, when the world does open back up, like, what's going to happen in the entertainment business. Because, even filming a movie, we still have to be in a group of people. I mean, just the production alone is definitely over 50 people.
I mean, you just got to start thinking of this life as being life. You know what I mean? Even like us doing this interview, it feels weird because it's new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a new way of doing it, but I feel like this is getting ready to be a normal type of situation. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate. And, it's just like being in cities that used to be a certain way. Like Atlanta used to be a certain way, and people that used to come to Atlanta, they be like, oh, I miss the old Atlanta. Okay, well, Sorry, it's not going back to the old Atlanta. This is
Right.
the new Atlanta. This is what it is. I know you miss the old Atlanta. I feel like this is part of that same situation. I miss the old world. We're gonna be saying that.
I
So
mean, I think we're going to be saying that to the person who's saying it dies. I mean, that's just honest because
yeah.
I want to flash back real quick with you. Yes, I know I'm young. I'm a millennial, but I remember hearing "Welcome to Atlanta," and I mean, you literally broke down each day of the week, something going on here. I'm from Houston, so I'm coming to Atlanta a few years back, and I'm like, oh, he was not lying. There's literally something to do every single day out here, and scary thing about it, like you said, it's gonna be that old way of living, and this may be the new norm at
Yeah,
least.
the mentality, the mentality changes.
Mm-hmm.
People don't go out like, well, people still go out in Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
crazy, but the mentality of where it was at that particular moment when I was talking about it was in an
Take me
insane.
back. Let's get into time warp. Take me back. Show me the ropes. Show me. Take me back.
Nah, I mean it was an insane time space.
Man,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's good. Well, a few of the things that I also want to discuss back since we're talking about flashback period is, you have been in the game for a period of time to where you were here when the old ways, meaning there were artist development, there was, getting in the streets and doing all of the handshaking, kissing babies, and just all the footwork, right? And then you're still here, relevant as ever, and it's a more of a streaming, it's more of a online situation where you can catch viral overnight. You had no artist development, you had no training, you had no boot camp. I feel like with the rap game, you still are implementing the old ways. Do you feel like it's being appreciated? Do you feel like that it's still needed?
Yeah, it's definitely needed, but it's definitely unappreciated. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely unappreciated what every season about all of these kids and what I was doing for the kids and how I was doing it for the kids and what um what I even turned the kids into. Like, a lot of people I be saying a lot of people say, yo, what happened to this career of this kid from the rap game and the career of this kid? And I think people have to stop right there and realize they never knew none of these people that they're talking about.
Say it again for the people in the back.
that's artist development. That's more than I gave each one of them kids, not even if you didn't win, I gave each one of them kids more than SoundCloud,
Absolutely.
more than YouTube.
You gave them a platform.
More than any of these other, more than Instagram. I gave them a platform that gave them an opportunity to showcase themselves more than any one of these social platforms.
Absolutely.
And I definitely don't feel like it was appreciated because I don't believe, I think we all started looking through one window and not realizing that the window that they was looking through was different than the window that these kids is looking through, right? Now you got some kids on the outside that understand that because I see them, they be like, man, you should let me get on a rap game, blah, 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 blah. But that's what it is. It's like opportunity sometimes when it's knocking, you don't realize how big or small the opportunity is. And you take it the way you take it. And that's what I think people loved about the rap game because I think people at home could sit and watch it and say, oh, they messing up. They missing their chance. They missing their opportunity, and that's what makes it good TV.
Yeah, and especially those who came up, like, my mother was a DJ, traveled all over, so I traveled with music being a child. So I was taught that you have to be a triple threat if you're going to be in this industry. You have to be able to sing, act, dance, do it all. But there was still that artist development there. And like I said, I don't feel like it was really appreciated, and it's because of the fact that who am I to tell you, somebody that's been here and still here, that you don't have the formula? That is definitely not needed, and artist development is needed, but you have the times where people are just sitting here and they're surrounded by everything going on. They think they can just be an online overnight success.
And not to cut you off, they also want the easy way.
Yeah,
the easy way. They want the easy way. They want to just wake up one morning and say something crazy, and wake up and they're all over the place.
Viral. Right.
They want that. That's the easy way. I ain't have to do nothing. They just love me. So it's like that's the way. You know what I mean? That's the wave that we in too. You got to understand that. So I feel like we gave you a good balance of people understanding the wave and me continue to keep trying to artist develop these kids at the same time.
Did it make you feel like, okay, this is just not the time that we're in, so I can't keep doing these proteges, I can't keep doing, because you are one of the few that still go and find that youth in the talent, that young, because you're looking for longevity. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're not looking for somebody to have that one song and they tour off of it for 2 years, and then after that it's like you haven't even put out a project, you haven't even got no plaques, like nothing. Like, are you straying away from continuing having proteges and raising the youth? I mean, because that's been your thing from crisscross.
Nah, definitely not. I'm not. I won't ever stray away from putting out new artists and having.
Okay.
I won't ever do that. But I do. I did have to take a step back and look at it and understand that, when I put out artists, the fans that's watching this, they don't understand that process that you was just describing, right? Mm-hmm. So, if I find a new artist, they automatically start trying to put that artist in the mix with a Bow Wow, in the mix with a Usher, in the mix with the cream de la cream of the people that I work with. Right. And that makes it a little weird because these artists are nowhere close to these other artists, right? And they don't even fit in the same conversation.
It's an unfair playing, the battlefield. Like it's not the same.
But I mean, but people don't understand how you separate that, right? So you do an interview and I'm talking to somebody new and they talking to me about a new artist just as much as they talking to me about Usher. Are they talking to me about the new artist as much as they talking to me about Mariah? And it's just like, sometimes for a new artist, that's not good either for them because they don't know how to handle that either. They start believing that they are in that space. And that's the thing. That's the gift and the curse about being with Jermaine Dupri because I have been able to make people stars, overnight, as they say. Mm-hmm. But when you start working with so many legendary artists, you have to figure out how you're going to continue to keep doing that because the back and forth is a little interesting. So, yeah. I mean, now it's like trying to find artists that I feel like you said, that's going to be around and finding artists that I feel like understand going in that direction. A lot of these artists don't understand, don't want to be legendary. Yeah. You can meet certain people that man, they trying to be somebody. So now my eye is just trying to find the artists that want to be more than tonight or more than tomorrow, and they got to know that at the early age, you know what I mean? However old they are, they got to know they want to be around and they asking for songs and they want to meet people and they want to take pictures and really be a part of at least what I have to roll out. Other people's lives is different, but my life is basically God showed me exactly what my life is like. Even like speaking of the Clock Sisters, this is like I'm shocked that I'm on their project, but at the same time, it's God. It's God showing me. You work with Aretha Franklin, you work with Mariah Carey, you work with Janet Jackson, you work with these people. This is where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be working with the Clock Sisters. If you can if you can figure it out and create the music that they need, this is the people that you're supposed to be working with. And this is what you should be putting your energy at. So it's written out for me. So it's the same thing with any artist that coming to me. If they say, God says this is the artist that you should be working with, it'll show itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's one thing that, right off the top, if somebody was to present you with an artist right now, what is the one thing that you are looking for? Right off the top, not even like going into hearing their music, or what's the one thing that you're looking for?
The understanding of my presence. I think that's something that I didn't look for in the past. Like, if you understand who the person is that you're working with, and you're talented, you're gonna go. You're gonna go because if you can figure out how to use that person's platform, whether it be Puff, whether it be Swiss, whether it be Timbaland, whether it be me, Missy, any of these people, you should always really truly understand the people that you actually come in contact with. And once you're under that umbrella, it's your job to figure out how to move the needle
Eyes on
under
it. Yeah.
that umbrella. And once that happens, because we already got that person liking you. If you got me liking you, now your job is to get other people to understand that you understand why you're here. You're not
Right.
just an artist. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things that I think people don't understand about Bow Wow. When Bow Wow was 12 years old, he displayed talent, but he also displayed attitude and swagger that he knew where he was. I don't actually believe he knew where he was, but this is what he displayed, something that made you believe that he was supposed to be with me. Like when you saw Bow Wow, you knew in your mind, from if you knew Criss Cross or you knew the Brad or you knew my past, you was like, oh, that boy, he's supposed to be with JD, right?
Yeah.
And I see like artists now where people be like, Jermaine, please get that person. Like I think it's a little rapper girl named Lele, Lil Lele.
Oh, Lele, yeah.
She's from Houston, right?
Yeah.
And I seeing people like, yo, JD, you need to get her, you need to get her. And I think a lot of times people don't understand. She's already signed, by the way. Her parents got, you know, they do her situation, but people think she should be with me, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's like that type of situation. If I was to ever get with her, it's at that point, it's on her to make y'all believe that she should be over here. What would she do different by being around me than what she already given people? And that's what I feel like now. That's why I don't even really, like, when people say that, I don't really say nothing, because I'm like, she giving y'all that, you know what I mean? She giving it to you. She giving it to you the way she got it. She feel it. It's really, it's natural. I can see it. You know what I'm saying? I usually don't want to step in and mess that up, because I feel I see something there within her now.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. And, you know, speaking of young artists being, you know, still relevant now, it's just crazy listening to the radio right now, right? And comparing it to what, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, we had all ages on the radio. I can't even tell you the last child that was just on the radio, and I mean like in rotation. You know, you had all of them, hey, you had all of them on rotation, just like your Drake or your Mariah Carey, your adult. There's no kids right now. Why do you think that is?
No kids meaning like what?
Meaning like in rotation just as much as your Summer Walker. And I mean kids like Bow Wow, like he was 12, he was 13, he was 14. He was on the radio as a child. Why is that right now?
I mean, like I said, once again, it's got a lot to do with the quarterback. You know, it's no team on the field without a quarterback. And a lot of these younger artists, they don't have quarterbacks. I think that's what was the success of the rap game, is because there's so many artists out there that do need a person like me to push them and put them in front of people and let people see them and this, that, and the third. They don't have that. Then there's a lot of artists that don't understand, young artists that don't understand being young. That was one of the things about the rap game that I was surprised about, is that a lot of these kids, they want to be old so fast. You know what I mean? They want to be in the playing field with the older artists.
And that young audience is a crowd to capitalize on. You have
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yo, it's an audience out here from 12 to 16 that nobody else is taking, and you can have it all to yourself. And
absolutely,
they were like, nah, I want to curse. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
You want to talk about the wrong content.
Yeah, they want to put out the wrong record, so they don't understand. But that's, once again, like I said, that's a learning thing, and that's having people around you to acknowledge it. Like, that's, you know, it's an audience out here that's just as plentiful, and they probably spend more money than the older people.
Yeah, definitely, because you have to put yourself on that level, and you're not even supposed to be there right now. You have so many years you can capitalize on the kids bop. I call it the kids bop. On the kids bop lane.
Yeah, like, you know, you have a long career like Miley Cyrus.
Man, and if they only knew.
Yeah, and Justin Bieber almost been here.
12, since he was 12. So he's like, what? I think he's like 22, 23, something
Yeah,
like that. He
he,
had that whole lane
yeah,
to
he's going on a
himself.
long. He's having a long, super long career.
Absolutely. And they don't see that. That goes back to what I said, the longevity.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not looking to be icons. They're not looking to be legendary. They're not looking to be inducted into any Hall of Fame or any rock and roll. And
But see,
that's
if you ask them about that, they won't. If they don't say that initially, that's not what they looking for anyway. They looking to be inducted to down the street. You know what I'm saying?
oh wow, that's crazy. I actually performed with the Bud, his birthday bash at the bonfire,
Oh,
and all of those kids that were there, and I'm just looking like it's such a huge market.
oh yeah,
And,
yeah. No, it's definitely it's out there and it's been out there and it's gonna continue to be there. It's gonna continue to be there and it's really just about who's gonna take control and get in that space.
and I just feel like that's still your calling. Definitely. I mean, like it's because you are the mecca of that. Like that is your calling. You have that vision. You have that formula.
I
You know,
also, I was not to cut you off. I also feel like it's a disrespectful space too. And hip hop disrespects that space a
yeah.
lot. You know, I hear a lot of disrespectful things said about Bow Wow and things that people say about his music and
Yeah.
it's um interesting to me because you can't say anything about Bow Wow's music because he sold damn near more records than anybody else that's out right now. If you talk about them, it's like, and you know, Bow Wow has a long list of #1 records. So it's like, okay, first of all, his records were #1. He sold a lot of copies. He's selling out arenas. What's to be disrespectful? But it's just the fact that it's a kid, right? So you get that, and these kids don't like that. They hate being disrespected more than anything in life, and they'll take losing the plaques and losing the #1s to somebody respecting them as opposed to paying attention to the accolades.